the East African Seed and Plant Varieties Bill of 2018. It is it's part of ongoing processes for to bring about regional harmonization of seed laws within the East Africa community. Particularly the plant variety protection section of the bill is modeled on the heavily criticized and controversial International Union for the Protection of New Plant Varieties, which is also known as UPOV 1991 Act. And this proposes a centralized plant variety protection system. Laws passed in the East Africa community are legally binding. And this will mean that issues on national sovereignty when it comes to seed and plant variety protection will be governed by a regional seed coordination office, which has no experience on plant variety protection. And so far, regulations together with the bill have already been developed, which portrays a very urgent and hasty process for the adoption of the EAC bill. The bill focuses on only commercial seed, and it doesn't really give any recognition to farmer-managed seed systems and farmers' varieties. Multinational seed companies will control the seed market within the region. So this brings about, the huge threat on food and seed sovereignty, because the control of, these crops will be in the hands of just a few multinational companies. At least 80% of the seed that is used by farmers comes from farmer-managed systems, while only 10 to 20% of seed that comes from the formal seed sector is used by farmers. So we see that the 80%, which has a huge potential for food security, for food sovereignty, security and sovereignty in the region, continues to be marginalized. What happens is that normally national laws and national policies encourage farmers to only buy seed that is coming from the formal seed sector. This means that this is certified seed that has gone through, there's set standards, certain standards, quality control standards. And this is the only seed that will be allowed to be sold at the national level and within the region. And no seed, any seed that hasn't gone through this standards, like certification, marketing, quality control standards, will not be allowed to be sold within the region. In fact, it penalizes, the use of non-certified seed, which includes also farmers' varieties within the region. The other huge threat is on national sovereignty, where national governments will be unable to, to regulate seed and plant variety protection laws within their own countries, because everything will be done at the regional level, and the regional law will supersede national laws. Civil society and farm organizations within the East Africa community have raised several concerns with regards to the development and adoption process of the EAC seed bill. These concerns on the development process have been largely on the lack of transparency and inclusion of public in the decision-making processes. They've done letters and submissions to the EAC Secretariat, the Council of Ministers, and the East African Legislative Assembly members. They've also been involved in consultations with the EAC East African Legislative Assembly members to raise concerns, and are further urging for an audience with the East African Legislative Assembly during the next sitting to elaborate and to to raise more concerns on this bill. Civil society and farmers' organizations in the East African community have demanded the process for adoption of the bill is halted until the serious concerns raised by civil society, particularly on threats on national sovereignty, have been addressed. It is also crucial that conversations on a comprehensive farmer-managed seed system policy is had by the by the public and policymakers and civil society organizations, which includes the recognition of farmer varieties and farmers' rights.